Good evening. A strong quake has just hit the centre of the country. Within the past hour, we're getting reports that it rumbled for more than a minute.
It was again centred near the Marlborough town of Seddon at a magnitude of 6.5. Our staff in Wellington have had to evacuate our office. Reporter Simon Bradwell.
The centre of most of these tremors. You'll see the extent of it on this map, where Seddon was rattled by a 4.2 magnitude jolt just after 7 this morning. 13 minutes later, a 5.8 hit the area. That's stronger than Friday's quake, and there have been constant shakes ever since, including a 4.9 just before 11 o'clock this morning. There have now been dozens of quakes in the past 11 hours, and the strongest, that 6.5 at 9 minutes past 5 this evening.
I had planned another closing message, but I feel compelled to say what I'm about to say. Now, I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government.
现在啊，是世界的末了，各种灾难越来越大，撒旦政权镇压迫害家庭教会也越来越严重。这是黎明前最黑暗的时候，也是主来的预兆啊！这段时间，我们县又有不少弟兄姊妹被抓判刑，形势这么紧张，我们都有些胆怯软弱。但我们相信主的应许，主的日子马上就要到了。我们要迫切的祷告主，忍耐到底，为主做得胜的见证，等候主来。我们末了的这一代，一定要把主迎接回来。
感谢主。哎呀，警察来了！
倒没倒？倒没倒？快点！没倒！快点！这些快点！快点！
我们信主，犯什么法？哪里是对？快点！别搞了！都保着！
凭什么照顾我们？哎，没有办法，拿着。胆子不小啊！敢上这儿来传教，我让你传，我传福音，信仰教。说起来，说，圣经从哪儿弄的？信不信？妈！不能再打了！凭什么这么打人？
就是啊，我迷信主没办法，凭什么打人呀？
都老子的，打嘛！
为什么打人？
为什么？
老师，
为什么我就要打你啊？老子专门打这人的，
这还有没有法了？
我老实点，
看什么看？就你们这些信神的，就得这么收拾，都他妈给我老实点！
让你信洋教啊！让你信洋教！信不信了？啊！你小子挺有骨气的啊！他妈今天整死！
人家被你们打死了！别打了！别打，还有没有法呀？你让清楚点！
你们干什么呀？你们也太狠了！
打人是
我们信主犯什么法了？你们这么打？
都给我老实点！
凭什么打人呀？
你们警察还有没有人性？
你说我呢？小子，是不是？啊？谁想坐牢？啊？
都老实点！
进去，快点！
我要回家。
回家，等着吧。你妈借钱去了，交不够200块，你就在这待着吧。
耶稣，愿你怜悯我，与我同在。
1988年，我13岁，跟弟兄姊妹去小魏村聚会，遭到了抓捕。在那个小黑屋里，我在恐惧与胆怯中熬过了1天2夜。那些年，经常有弟兄姊妹因为聚会传福音，被抓游街，判刑劳教。我不明白，我们信神明明是做好人、走正道，为什么政府非要迫害我们？为什么共产党如此仇恨信神的人？在我幼小的心灵里，就产生了这样的疑问。
today, my topic is religion, and specifically the relationships that we have with people with different beliefs than us. I'd like to start off with a little bit of my story and why I'm invested in this work, and then I'd like to share with you how brave students at Colorado State University are crossing faith and belief lines to change the stories we most commonly hear about religion in America.
We've been working together over the past 10 years because the events that followed the horror of 9/11 let us know how far we are from peaceful solutions to the world's problems. And it also let us know that religion itself is often part of the problem.
We wanted to find out why interfaith dialogue had not been able to help us get to a place of deeper understanding and even reconciliation.
It's really amazing that each of our traditions contains words of beauty and substance, and yet our world is filled with anger, pain, polarization.
And we've learned when speaking about spirituality that it's often important to begin with a moment of silence. We share many words, but the silence we share is one. The ancient psalmist said, "Be still, be quiet, and remember the deeper wisdom that arises from within you."
In the wilderness, Jesus experienced the same silence we meet now as he prepared himself for his ministry of teaching and healing.
The Quran invites us into the sacred womb of silence, where it is said, angels and the Spirit descend. So when we slow down a little, it becomes possible.
When we
slow down
a little.
It is
and is calling you to minister. I've always and oftentimes told my colleagues as we travel around that this is the most difficult time in 40 years of evangelism that I have sensed in terms of a counterculture, but it is the most opportune moment. No matter where we go, at university campuses, the audiences are packed to capacity, generally with standing room only crowds. They realize they don't have the answers anymore. They are struggling to find wherein they should turn, in which direction they should move and turn their lives into the hands of what person or what belief or what ideology. Chesterton's little statement is so true. The problem with Christianity is not that it has been tried and found wanting, but that it has been found difficult and left untried. If you take the gospel message, it is so unique, contrast it with any other worldview. No worldview even comes close. Let me take just two simple truths from the gospel that stand gigantically over all the others. If you were to talk to a Hindu or a Muslim or a Buddhist, they will all have one thing in common, that the pathway to nirvana or the pathway to moksha, which is release, is through your own effort to build your righteousness up. For the Hindu, it is karma, the karmic law has to work out. If you ask any Muslim, how do you attain paradise? His answer, if he is an honest Muslim and a truthful Muslim, will say to you, your good deeds will have to outweigh your bad deeds, and your deeds will be made on that final judgment day. By goodness, you will have to outweigh all of the badness in your life. And you ask a Christian, how do you know you're going to go to heaven? And the answer is very simple. It is by the grace and the mercy of God, not by any righteousness of my own. What a difference, stark difference. And then the centerpiece of the cross.
I'd like to show you a few slides to give you some idea of the kind of work that we're going to have to do. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18 gives us an identifying number whereby we can recognize the system.
Well, I got more sermon, but I'm out of time. Let me close with this. A few years ago, I remember hearing about this lady who was dying from cancer who sued her pharmacist. And she won a lawsuit of $2.2 billion. Now, what in the world would make a jury award someone $2.2 billion? This pharmacist, Robert R. Courtney, was a serial killer, but the way he killed people is by diluting their prescriptions. You see, some of this medication for cancer and other serious diseases is very carefully measured. You don't want too much, or you had bad side effects from the chemo. You don't want too little, or it has no effect. And he thought, you know, if I dilute this and split it 2 or 3 ways, I can get a lot more money, sell more medicine. And he never really cared what the consequences would be for the people who were dying. And over more than a decade, he filled out over 90,000 prescriptions where he diluted the prescription. And there's no telling how many people died from that. Well, that's what the devil is doing with the gospel. He's diluting it to the point where it is without effect. Watering it down. It's like people in a prison of war camp. They just keep adding more water to the soup until it has no more nutritional value. And the devil is doing that with the gospel. Friends, I hope I've delivered my soul from your blood today. It's pretty clear that we need to flee from the wrath to come. So we've got a problem. We're perishing. The wages for sin are death. We're all under that death sentence. There's only one way of escape. It's to accept the sacrifice of Jesus, to receive Christ, to believe in Christ, and then to follow Christ and his teachings. Have the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, goodness, faith, temperance in our lives. That's what it means to be saved. Please don't be deceived by the devil's most dangerous deception. that we can have a form of godliness without the power.